Okay, so welcome everyone. This is the Premier Chess Adult Intermediate Fall 2020, Week 12, continuing our discussion of the topic territorial domination and the importance of space and how to increase it for yourself and how to decrease it for your opponent. So this is part 2, and we're going to examine a game between Jose Raul Capablanca versus Lasker. I believe Emmanuel. I always get the two confused. There's Edward Lasker and there's Emmanuel Lasker. I think Emmanuel Lasker is the world champion, right? Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Good. It's so confusing. All right. So Emmanuel Lasker. So Capablanca is white, and Lasker is black. This is played 1921 in Havana. So in this position, what
Can I
would
ask
you
about
say?
the opening? Was this a Queen's Gambit accepted, or was this like a London into the Caracan, or what?
Actually, I'm not even sure, but it looks like a Queen's Gambit. Yeah, I mean, it could be that white took on D5, could be, or black took. It could be either one. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these openings can transpose into each other anyway. So yeah.
I'm just curious how he reached this position in the first place.
Right. Yeah. You know, I'll make sure, like, for the next one, I'll make sure I get the whole game because, yeah, I'm sure you guys would like to see how they arrive at these positions, right? So, yeah, I can make sure about that. So yeah, we'll start from here, and it's white to move. So, what would you say the best move is here for white?
Well, you could knight G5 just to provoke a dark square weakness, right? I guess black is okay with sitting with the knight on F8.
Yeah. So he's protecting H7, so it's not a real threat yet. Okay, so what else?
Maybe A3, preventing the knight from jumping into B4.
A3, okay, possibility. All right, anybody else? What else?
Maybe a general question is, who wants to trade the knight here?
Who wants to trade the knight?
Yeah, like which side would rather have? Does black want to keep the knight in the middle?
I think black would benefit if white traded. Then he can open up his light squared bishop, right, and the rook. So yeah, I think it would definitely benefit black there. So yeah. Yeah, I think this is an example of neither side wants to trade. Because I'm sure if black trades the knight, white would probably want to. I would think take with the pawn maybe. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. So what else? What do you guys think?
So I'm thinking knight A4.
Knight A4.
Yeah, and then knight C5. So the idea is now black can obviously play B6 to kick out the knight. But I already have some pressure down the C file. So if he pushes B6, it gives me a target on C6.
So knight A4, first thing comes to mind is B5. So
oops. Never mind.
Well, it doesn't automatically lose a piece, right? Because then now just forced to trade on D5, right? And then best move would probably be take here. Maybe you got the knight outpost here. I don't know. Could be. It could be okay. Right? Maybe the rook, maybe the queen comes here, rook comes here, and then black doubles, stuff like that. Right? Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Now, I was hoping to have a target down the C file, like somehow make the C pawn backward.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you want to do that, then you can't do it now because of B5. Yeah. So, all right. What else?
I mean, maybe h4.
H4. Let's see here.
I mean, when you say territorial domination, I think, we want to start claiming as much space with pawns, and you already have some pieces kind of primed to line up on the king side.
Right. I mean, I think that would make more sense if we were castled queenside. Because now we have a rook to bear down on h5 on the h file. I think, it's risky when you're opening up your king side to expose your opponent's king side, and your king is right there. So yeah, kind of risky. But okay, anything else?
I guess the question is, what is the goal at this point?
So the topic is territorial domination. So we're talking about space, right? So I guess the first question we can ask is, who controls more space in this position? Who's more cramped and who controls more space?
White is looking a bit more comfortable.
White is more comfortable. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the queen exerts a lot of nice influence here, and the bishop as well, right? The knights are pretty good, right? The only active piece really that black has is this knight, right? That's really the only active piece. Knight is pretty passive, rook's passive, queen's not doing much, rook's definitely undeveloped. So
a4 looks kind of reasonable here, because black's b5 is going to start pushing white backward otherwise.
a4, you said black's what?
Well, without a4, b5 forces the bishop back, and black can start claiming more space.
Yeah, that's true. He can start a little pawn storm there. Although that would create a weakness on c6, right?
Kind of hard to get in there though. You might go knight e5, but then bishop b7.
So well, first of all, it's white's move here.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, b5, drop the bishop back, and then he'd probably want to try to go knight e4, and then focus on controlling the c5 square, and also exert pressure on c6, right? So all right. So anything else? Anybody else moves for white? You still didn't stumble upon Capablanca's move, by the way. What else?
e4, but I didn't like the look of the weakness it creates on d4.
So yeah, e4 is definitely space improving. The thing is, it does create a little weakness on d5 to d4, which may or may not be premature, may or may not be easy to exploit. For now, the knight is protecting. So Capablanca does want to play e4, but apparently that's it's weakening too much of d5, yet d4 at this moment. So what does he do before e4?
That's the question. D1.
Yeah. So you look at your position first of all, and just a quick cursory glance at your position, and a thing that you can always ask yourself is, which of my pieces is not doing anything, right? So this rook on f1 definitely not doing anything. So it's also just prudent thought process to activate your last piece, right? So the rook on f1 was the last piece to activate. So rook f to d1. Also very nice that it's on the same line as the queen, right? At the same time as protecting d4. So now now white is very comfortably threatening to play e4. And so let's see what happens next. So bishop d7. Okay, now e4. Okay, so now what do you think in this position? What do you think the best move is here for black after e4? What is the best move?
F4.
Okay, so knight f4. What's the purpose of a knight f4?
Well, if white chooses to advance on the d file, you're still providing an attack on the d 5 square, but you're also opening the possibility if black can open the queen or the bishop, you can start to make attacks on the king side.
Okay. So I think knight f4 is just allowing white to grab more space for no reason.
G3,
For no,
kick it around.
yeah, with g3, yeah, this knight is just out there in the open, and g3 just
So
proves.
play.
And now it's going to sit on knight. It's going to sit on g6 for the rest of the game, right?
Yeah, g6, and I think ideally in this position, this knight, the f knight, would like to come to g6, right? Because the f knight really wants to get into the game.
Why not push it to h3?
H3, that would drop a pawn, right? King g2, and now knight cannot retreat. Now you're forced to give up this pawn here, right? And yeah, so yeah, it's tough. So knight is put in a very precarious position after knight f4. So what else? What else do you think?
I mean, when I look at this, it looks to me like b6, c7, f6 are the only 3 options. And c7 doesn't look super attractive.
C7 and where else?
F6.
And f6. Okay.
But c7 doesn't look attractive because black is just reducing its own space.
Yeah, right.
I just discarded all the forward moves because, like, I think, like the previous analysis just showed, like, my intuition is whenever I move knights forward there, they end up getting trapped or kicked back, and it's just a waste of time.
Right.
So b6 looks the best to me because, I don't know, I think white would like to hang on to that bishop.
So, all right, so let's see. Yeah, knight b4 and queen b3. And now it looks like this pawn is going to drop. Or actually, no, maybe the best move would be this one. And
or b5? Does that lose a pawn? I can't see.
b5?
Yeah.
Yeah, loses a pawn.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no good. Yeah, maybe queen here, but then now white can kind of gain an advantage now, kicking around the queen, right? Here, you know, here. Yeah. So it's a lot of, white's definitely got the initiative here, right? So, yeah. So
actually, queen c2 after that, and black's queen is almost trapped.
Queen.
So, yeah, you push a3, the knight moves, you drop queen c2, and...
No, the queen can...
the queen can, but if black does anything else, then b4 traps it, right? Oh, no, h5 is open.
Yeah, h5, yeah. 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 All right. Yeah, I mean here, yeah, white can even just take this pawn. Yeah, and so down a pawn and then take the knight.
Takes the knight.
Yeah, take the knight and then you take the knight. All right. Sure. Yeah. So okay. So knight b4, not so good. So what else? What else can black?
I was saying b6, by the way, not b4.
Yeah, I know. I was just considering b4, but all right. So b6, knight b6 is actually the move that was played, but that was given as a mistake, as one question mark. So why?
It's good enough for Capablanca. It's good enough for me.
Why do you think? Well, Capablanca's white, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Lasker's black. So why do you think? Why do you think knight b6 was given as a mistake? Why do you think?
So after bishop b3, as long as the pawn's on e4, that knight is gonna have a hard time getting around.
All right,
right?
so bishop b3. And
now, I mean, that knight, it's not really clear where it could go. It'll have to go to c8, then come to d6, or something like that.
Yeah. Kind of blocking the pawns. Yeah, so black's really cramped. Very cramped here. White has nice space advantage. So again, in general situations where you're the one with less space, right? General rule of thumb is you would like to trade as many pieces as possible, right? That would make your life much better. So for that reason, knight takes c3 is considered the best move in this position, right? Just trading pieces. But he did not play that move, and he played knight b6. What do you think the best move is here for white? What do you think?
Can you back up a move?
Yeah.
I understand what you said, that trading piece, but I don't see how it helps black here to set.
How it helps black to trade the knight?
Yeah. So what did black gain?
So
face.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot nicer. You know, maybe he can try something like this. You know, bring the rook over, knight up. So it's just nicer that the knight is not there to be kicked around by all these, you know, these pawns here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, because black definitely, look at this, black is very, very cramped. He wants either a pawn break with c5 or e5 here, and e5 would not be good because that would increase the scope of the c4 bishop, right? So yeah, so probably he's going to go for a c5 pawn break.
c5 creates a pawn island, though.
Yeah, maybe he's going to probably build it up with rook c8 like that, you know. But he wants to definitely break open his position, open the scope of his bishop, maybe place on this long diagonal, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, knight takes, yeah, trading the knights really makes it easier for black to maneuver in this position. All right, so knight b6. So what do you think? Best move here for white? What do you think?
Bishop d3.
Yeah, so bishop d3. So yeah, I definitely want to save the bishop. You don't want to trade that. It's a very important bishop. And so yeah, bishop d3 is okay.
E2.
Yeah, Capablanca went all the way back to f1. Maybe you know, to reroute here, you can reroute to g2 along the long diagonal. That's a possibility too. So okay, so let's go on.
One reason e2 looks nice is that it might give your queen and rook a little more freedom later because you're reinforcing the rook on d1.
Oh, you mean more protection on the
yeah,
d1.
I mean, if you line up on the c file later in the game, you don't have to worry about back rank issues.
Yeah. Okay, that's true. Yeah, pretty similar. Okay, so all right, so bishop f1, rook c8. So really, black would love to open up the c file, definitely. So what do you think is the best move here for white here after rook c8?
I can tell you a bad move.
What's a bad move?
d5.
D5 is not a good move. Yeah, definitely not a good move. Not a Capablanca move in this position. What do you guys think?
I feel like c5 is coming, and that makes me uncomfortable because I don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, rook c8. He's definitely preparing c5. So what can we do about that?
B4, I suppose.
B4, yes, B4 is the movie played. B4, very important lockup. Oh, what was that? Esteban Stairs. Yeah. Close up c5, gain complete control, and rules out c5 completely. So yeah, b4 is the move. Very good move. Gain space and prevent your opponent from breaking out with counterplay. Okay, bishop e8. Queen b3. Rook e to c7. Okay, what do you think? Best move for white here. What do you think? First of all, notice white's white's just increasing his spatial control. Look at black is basically confined to these squares right here. Black is not happy.
A4.
A4, yeah.
Takes a
A4.
pawn.
Yeah, excellent. A4 is the move that he played. Beautiful. Increase space, push your pawns. Black is pretty much helpless to do anything in this position. A4, black is basically just maneuvering around his pieces for no and can make no appreciable progress. So knight G6. Now what do you think?
Why
Best
not
move
queen
for
D7 by black? Because then
queen
C5 becomes an actual threat on.
Queen D7.
Yeah.
C5. So
C5 now you have an attack on A4.
okay. No, actually I don't think that works.
Probably just push A5 now, right?
Do you see why that doesn't work? So that, okay, I'm just gonna make a random move so we can analyze that. Let's do a random move. So now, what if he
There's a
goes?
problem you take on the D file.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
take with the-
yeah, oh, first of all, yeah, you could take there. That's one reason. Lose the knight that way. But if you take
The knight's protecting it as well.
if you take
Um,
so yeah, okay, so let's say yeah. So here the the discovered attack, you lose the knight. That's one reason. Another reason.
If you take, now you take on A4 with the knight.
So if you take an A4, what's the winning move here?
take with the knight.
C6.
No,
Oh no. Oh, no.
much stronger move.
Oh, bishop E5.
Yeah, bishop B5. Very nice. Attacking gonna win the knight and attacking the queen. Very powerful, right? So no good. C5 does not work.
And I just did a lesson on interference today.
Yeah. Well, that would be, I guess that you could classify that move as a intermediate move as well, in between move. So, all right, so let's go back. A4, knight G6. Okay, so in this position, white to move. What is the best move for white here?
I'd probably push A5.
Yes, I would too. Definitely push the pawns, kick around your opponent's pieces. That's what he did. Increase space whenever possible. Just shows how much black is just tripping over himself. Knight D7. Okay, now white to move. What would you do here?
Can you get away with D5 now?
So D5, I think that would help black actually, because
Okay.
you open up the C file. He would love to trade all these rooks away. He would just love that. So I don't think you want to do that. You want to make his life easier.
Okay.
What else? This is almost like a Petrosian type game, just increasing the pressure slowly.
What if you played G3?
G3. All right. I mean, it's good. Yeah, it's good. It takes away squares from the knight. Yeah, maybe preparing for F4 later. It's good. I think there's a better move that he played, but that's also good. What else?
Knight A4.
Knight A4. Okay, that's good. Eyeing on this this square.
So basically my thought process was just put the knight on c5, and if he ever trades, I can take with the b pawn, close the c file because his rooks are lined up there, and
Right.
just start applying pressure down the b file.
Right. Okay.
Can't black play b5 here? And if takes en passant, it looks like takes on b6 is actually better for black.
b5. Probably best would be to just go here. As is a beautiful backward pawn there. Right.
But maybe doesn't black just want to trade everything? So black trades the knights.
Okay,
The
so
file's open.
trade the
you put a
knight.
rook on d7. Okay.
Okay, rook on d7. I would double up, triple up. You know. Yeah, pretty nice.
Maybe knight h4. Try to remove a defender on d4.
Yeah, knight h4. I would go here. Oh, actually, the bishop. No, the bishop.
Now the pawn's hanging.
Actually, no. You know,
d4 is hanging.
Yeah. So let's say you go here. Takes. Okay. So.
And now black has sort of escaped, right?
Yeah. You know, at some point, sometimes when you're gaining space, there comes a point where you have to decide to give back some space and trade that advantage for a different advantage, right? So hopefully you can emerge from a position where you have an advantage in the space, and you can emerge from that and have other advantages, right? So yeah. All right. So
I guess white takes b5 now, and the pawns are connected, and it's going to be hard to.
Yeah, something like that. Possibility. Yeah, black's got a back rank weakness. Although what white's got
So does white.
White has some attack. Yeah, they both have back rank weaknesses. Yeah. So all right, it's interesting. All right, 94. Okay. All right. What else? Okay. What's another move here?
What if you push the pawn to a6?
Pawn a6. All right.
b6. Right.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It looks like black has a lot of. He's got a lot of power on for the c5 push, so that might benefit him. And although c5 might not be good because the queen's still on the d file, you know. But still, he's got a lot of power, so he probably can achieve some trades there and make his life easier. So yeah. All right,
the queen could just go to e7, further increase pressure.
Oh, yeah, increase on c5, yeah.
Knight e5 has looked kind of interesting.
d7. Knight e5, you said?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Take. What would you do? Maybe here. Yeah, and this pawn's gonna fall. Is there any compensation? I don't see any compensation, right? You see any? Yeah, not much.
Well, you have the open file, but that's not enough, right?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Bishop e2. The queen is getting very uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
I guess maybe you park it on h3 though.
Maybe.
You can't ever do anything.
Yeah, you're right. You're right that white does have control over the d file. I mean, yeah, and maybe you would want to do e5 and then have a beautiful outpost for your knight there. So, okay, all right. So let's go back. So what else?
What about rather than jumping into e5 with the knight pushing the pawn to e5?
Yeah, e5 immediately. Very good move. That's the move he played. So that grabs more central territory, keeps the knight out of f6. At the same time, creates a beautiful outpost square for the white knight, right? And it's true, you know, when you're pushing pawns, you're always creating weaknesses simultaneously, right? So you got to be very, you got to discriminate very well, carefully when you push a pawn. So here, white cedes the control of the d5 square, so it gives that square to black, but he correctly assumes or concludes that the d6 square is more important. You know, is an excellent outpost for his own knight. So yeah, so e5 is a very nice move. All right, so b6.
Yeah, and
Go ahead.
so just a quick thing. So it looks like even though white did give up the d5 square, the only piece that could take advantage of it is a knight on g6.
Yeah.
Which is probably the one piece just doesn't need to take advantage of.
Right. Yeah.
Because
This knight
already-
would be like
yeah.
the one that would want to, but he can't.
Yeah.
So yeah, not easy. All right, good. Okay, so next, b6, trying to get some trades going. White goes for the d6 square, rook b8.
That was actually very surprising. Why not now take on a5 and then c5 starts looking
Let's see,
more reasonable?
So instead of wait, rook.
So now takes on a5 by black.
Oh, instead of rook b8. Let's see.
And now you can push c5, right?
Oh, you mean push c5?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work. There's a pin on the knight. All right, that doesn't work.
But oh.
Right.
Well, okay, but I mean, queen e7, and you still can't defend the pawn. Can
queen
you?
e7, we have knight here. Right. Yeah, you kind of lose a piece there.
There's rook b8.
Rook b8.
And you hang the rook.
No, the knight's protecting. Yeah. Let's see here. I would probably maybe something like that. Yeah, this is very nice position for white. This knight is so powerful. This knight, very powerful. You know, he's threatening to push even more, and then bring the knight back maybe, and threaten this rook. So yeah, these pass pawns are becoming very powerful. So yeah, this is a dominating position. So okay, so let's go back. Knight e4, rook b8. So conclusion is maybe taken here would not be good yet, right? So rook b8, threatening to take on a5 now. Queen c3, knight f4. So now he jumps on the outpost square. Black jumps on his outpost square. Queen a3. All right, so now what would you play here for black? What would you play? Black to move.
Take on a5.
Take on a5.
Probably help a little bit.
I think that helps. I think that helps white because now this pawn is a beautiful target right now. Very easy to attack. You know, just pile up, and you can even reroute this knight. I don't know. It's very nice. Yeah. Anything else?
Couldn't stick the
What
bishop on
F6?
A6.
Say again. Say again.
Go ahead.
I was saying you could stick the bishop on A6, just make it annoying for those rooks.
Bishop on A6. Oh no, it's black to move. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, black to move.
Pawn to F6.
Pawn F6. Yeah, that was the move that was played. Why did he do pawn F6?
desperately needs to break the center.
Yeah, he definitely wants to get rid of this pawn, and he's actually threatening to win a pawn with that, and then eventually take this knight, right? So basically, there's not much that white can do. This is a situation where white has a spatial advantage, but now he has to give some of his space back, or else he's just going to lose material. So he decides to just end up with a winning slight advantage at the end of all the trades. So he can't avoid trades right now. So for that reason, takes the bishop, queen takes, e takes f6, g takes f6. All right. So now what do you think? Best move for white. What do you think?
Knight h4.
Knight h4.
You're threatening g3, forking the rook.
Ah, that's interesting. Although it's protected by the knight, though.
Maybe, yeah.
So not really a threat, but okay. It kind of vacates the third rank for the queen to enter, because now
maybe you can trade your bishop for the knight first or something.
And probably the best thing that black can do here would be knight f8. Now we have this, and now it's white that's attacking. It's black that's attacking the white king,
like
right?
Queen d6 here, maybe you can start invading and being annoying with the pawns.
Yeah. All right. Possibility. Yeah. So here, maybe you could even do something like this, because remember, this pawn is hanging as well, right?
Isn't?
Oh, sorry. You can't do
hanging?
that. No, you can't do that. You're gonna hang your rook.
Sorry about that.
That too. Sorry about that. Maybe something like this. Yeah.
But c6 is still hanging.
No. Yeah. Yes. The idea is to trade.
Sure.
Trade here, and and now black is much freer. Very very nice position. Although he
white
loses
takes
on
e6, exactly.
Yeah. So
well, I mean, probably black just pushes a6 instead of taking back, right? Maybe not. Is the passer too powerful?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This one I think is too powerful. Actually no. He can't. The rooks. Oh, sorry. No, he can't take the pawn yet. He can't take the pawn yet because the rook's under attack. Right.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So let's go back. Okay. So not knight h4. He didn't play that. What else?
What about rook c2 and then double up on the c file?
Rook c2. Okay. Yeah, it's a possibility. Let's see. Can he push? No, he can't push there. Okay.
Black plays rook c8. How are you gonna break?
Like, I can also bring the bishop to g2, move the knight to join the attack as well, like knight e1, knight d3.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry.
Yeah. Or maybe knight here. Knight try to come in again here. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to get all my pieces to focus on c6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bring the bishop
It's a
here.
long process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possible. All right. Anybody else? What else you got?
I feel like if I had this in a tournament, g3 always looks like a safe bet when I'm not sure here. You can always put
Yeah,
the bishop on
g3. I mean,
g2.
yeah, is a nice move. Yeah. Yeah, fianchettoing the bishop. That is a nice move. It's not what Capablanca played, but it's a nice move too.
So I'm looking at rook on d1 to e1, and then maybe bringing the bishop up and attacking the knight, because
that's
neither
good.
pawn can take. If you take with the other, that one pawn,
right.
you drop the queen, other pawn drops the other rook.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, pinning the pawn to the queen. That's good. Yeah, activating the D rook. Good. Yeah, so this is the goal of when you have a space advantage, you trade it for other advantages or weaknesses in your opponent's position, right? So that's the goal here. So for that reason, Capablanca chose to trade off as much as possible and attack, basically just attack the weaknesses. So for that reason, he went b5. B5, trying to trade off the pawns and just create pawn islands, right? B5, rook BC8, trade, okay, trade. So now, as you can see, you got all these targets over here, and it's going to be a lot easier. So white does have a target on D4, not so easy to attack it as black's targets are. So yeah, so rook e1 to pin the pawn and put pressure on the e6 pawn. All right, queen c8, release the e pawn from the pin, rerouting his knight. Knight f8.
I'm surprised. Why no bishop b5 earlier?
Let's see, where?
Anywhere in here? Yeah. I don't know.
Bishop b5. Let's see, bishop b. Yeah, this looks like a nice move. And maybe he goes here. I would do something like
no, just take the knight, right?
No, it doesn't lose the knight actually.
Knight's protecting it.
Because the rook's protected.
Actually, it's the pawn on e6 that saves you. Otherwise, you would have a8 check.
Oh, right.
After trading.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So okay. So let's go back. Oh yeah, no. So what I was saying is, after bishop b5, rook c3, I think the best move would be queen d6. That's pretty nice. So this pawn is gonna fall with check. This knight is under attack. Maybe the best move here would be knight f8. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. It is. He is protected. Everything's protected. But yeah, something like that. So all right. So yeah, white's got a nice position. Black's very pretty passive, although he's trying to get active. So queen c8, knight d2, trying to reroute his knight. Knight f8, knight e4. All right, so now he's focusing on f6, the weakness on f6, queen d8. All right, what would you do here for white? What would you say? What do you think? Any ideas here for white?
How about bishop b5 now?
Bishop b5. Yeah, I mean, that does look good. Activates the bishop with tempo. Where's the rook? Where's the rook go? What do you think? It's a good place for the rook.
C7.
Yeah, c7 or c2. Yeah, either one, I guess. I mean, in these positions, it's like we can say, we can analyze these positions and say white's definitely better. White's got spatial advantage. But if you're playing the game, if you're white, is it easy to break through and convert it to a win? Not so easy, right? So even though it's a winning position, we could say positionally, it's still, you gotta convert it, and that's the hard part. So yeah. So he didn't play bishop e5, although that looks like a good move too. He wanted to create some more weaknesses, so he pushed h4 and trying to further constrain the king over here. So h4, rook c7, queen b3. So basically, what white's doing here, he's kind of like probing. He's probing black's position. Poking here, poking there, trying to create weaknesses. It's very very similar to Petrosian style a lot. Very very soft and gentle moves, and careful not to create weaknesses in your own position and trying to probe your opponent's position at the same time. So queen b3, rook g7. So now black's trying to get some counterplay on the G file. G3, rook a7, bishop c4. Okay. So what threat is bishop c4 creating?
Take on d5 twice and knight f6.
Exactly. Yeah. So you gotta defend. You gotta defend d5. So rook a5, knight c3. Really wants to get rid of that knight. Takes. King f7. Queen e3. Okay. So again, just poking and prodding and just trying to create more weaknesses. Queen d6. Queen e4. Trying to invade. Rook a4 finally does invade with the queen. Queen b7 check.
What about
yeah,
d5 here?
d5 here. Oh wait,
after
rook a4.
What was white's previous move?
So
yeah, right here. Why not?
So
queen e8.
So it's basically a pawn sacrifice, right?
So now queen e8.
Queen e8
and rook e7.
Okay.
And this is looking scary.
Let's see.
But he didn't have to take though, right? He could have just played e5 himself.
Let's see. Yeah, that's true. He didn't have to take. That's true too. Right.
But now f4.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna open the file.
Maybe here. And rook a3 is coming, I think, trying to attack the weakness on g3, right? All right. So yeah, so it's tough, it's tough to break through, these
Takes was losing though, right?
These top level players, they put up a good defense. Yeah, takes it looks like a good attack. So let's say, what if he goes king g8? I guess you can still go here.
Yeah,
now you're threatening mate.
f7.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's not really any response. Rook a1.
Yeah, he's got one check. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. He's got to sacrifice the queen. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So okay, interesting sacrifice. Yeah, but again, he doesn't have to take it, so he can just push e5. All right. So queen e4, rook a4. The queen invades. Queen b7 check. King g6. Queen c8 again targeting e6. Black's like, you can have e6. I'll get d4. Rook c1. Queen e7. Okay. Yeah, this is like very slow improvement of the position. This is very good positional play here. bishop d3 check, king h6. What would you say? What would you say best move for white here?
Rook c7.
Yeah, rook c7. Take control of the 7th rank with tempo, attacking the queen. Yeah, very nice.
What about queen c6?
Queen c6. I think that just activates the rook, brings the rooks into the game now.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So yeah, rook c7 is the strongest move here.
What do you mean when you say with tempo?
Oh, with tempo means so you're bringing the rook to the 2nd rank, so the 7th rank. With tempo is attacking your opponent's piece. So now your opponent can't do whatever he wants to do. Now he's got to respond to the attack, right? So basically, you've gained a move, right? Or your opponent has lost a move, right? Yeah. So very nice, control over the 7th rank. Rook c7, rook a1 check, last minute check, king h2, queen d6. All right, now best move for white. What do you think?
Queen takes f8, followed by rook h7. Mate.
Very nice. Awesome finish. Yeah, actually, black resigned after queen takes f8, right? Because beautiful mate is following, or you lose your queen. Nice finish. So very slow improvement of the position, slow increase in spatial domination, and then eventually converting it into a position where your opponent is riddled with weaknesses, and then basically slowly targeting each weakness, maneuvering around, targeting each weakness until you gain other advantages, and and then nice little finish at the end. So what do you guys think? Any questions? You want to go over anything else in the game?
So can we go back to when white pushed e4?
Let's see. Yeah. So rook fd1, bishop d7, and then e4 here.
Okay, so now at this point, so white, do you think white already had plans of pushing e5 and then playing knight e4, knight d6 at this point? Like, was that the purpose of e4 really?
I mean, the purpose of e4 is just to gain more central space. I mean, again, what if he played here, right? How would the game have progressed? What do you think is better, take with the queen or taking with the pawn? What do you think is better?
Probably take with the pawn.
Yeah, I think take with the pawn. And maybe here the attack would be different. Here would be maybe try to push e5, try to get in knight f5, f4, maybe come back to e4 and jump into d6 that way. Yeah, something like that. Maybe move the king out of the way and then push these ones. Yeah, so it would be a different focus, definitely. But yeah, e4 was the focus. You wanted to gain central space, and black missed his opportunity for trading. So yeah, any other questions? Do you see us?
So when you play positionally like this, and you're focused on that central space, how long do you keep your plan as control of that central space? Like, how much do you sacrifice to keep control of that space?
Yeah. I mean, you got to know when the right time is to transfer over some of that advantage, the spatial advantage, for a different advantage, right? Because there's definitely key moments where your opponent, there's no way that you can stop your opponent from opening up or breaking through, and so you got to make a decision. How can I gain a different advantage from this position? There's a great quote. I forget who said it, maybe Bobby Fischer, that all you have to do, you just have to, increase space and control, and then the correct moves just appear. So it's not only just a matter of finding out the correct tactical move, because if you have the space, the advantage in space, then it just makes sense logically that you're gonna have more tactical opportunities, right, with that increase in space. So yeah, I think the focus should be more on understanding how to gain your control and maintain that space and take it away from your opponent. And the tactics, they just come. They just come with they're inevitable. All right. Yeah. Anybody else? Questions? What do you think?
So as a next move here, would you be looking to push the E pawn so that you have a pawn ladder?
Yeah, I would definitely love to do that. Yeah. I every time I'm playing my games, and I have there's a big pawn chain here. I love it. Pawn chain is one of my favorite things. So, yeah, pawns are so powerful. So powerful, and I love when I see top level players wield their pawns in such a magnificent way, and it demonstrates a very deep understanding of chess and of space. I love the lowly pawn. So yeah. Yeah, and also, did you guys notice a similarity in Capablanca's play and Petrosian's play? Right, like if you didn't know this was a Capablanca game, I'm sure a lot of you would have thought it was a Petrosian game, right? I mean, to me, they look very similar. Because Capablanca is definitely not known for his, wild, sacrificial, brilliant moves. He's known for being methodical and slow and systematic, and yeah. And then you don't understand how you got into a losing position. So yeah. Any other questions? Cool. All right. So I got another game on this topic for next week, Territorial Domination. Do you want to continue that, or do you want to do a different topic? What do you guys think? Do you like this this subject? What do you think? Yeah. Did you guys get anything from this? Interesting. Yeah, I like analyzing these type of games where I think one of you guys said that you don't want to do tactics because you can just do puzzles and learn tactics that way, but these middle game type scenarios and learning about these more profound topics, they're not as easy as like, what's the correct move, mate in 1, right? Mate in 2. It's like it really forces you to think and analyze how you think, right? Yeah, so the best move is not so apparent, All right.
I like what we did today. I don't know if it's okay with everyone else. Maybe a focus on in the middle game, sort of knights versus bishops, and where to put the emphasis.
Okay.
Well, just in terms of these positions, it seemed like the knights were getting jammed up.
Yeah.
Pretty easily.
Yeah.
So it becomes less clear what's the stronger piece.
What's the stronger piece? Yeah.
I agree. The focus on the middle game is interesting. I guess one of the things I might suggest is maybe don't tell us thematically what we should be looking for, just to see if we're going to see the things. Or I think when we start talking about space advantages, we all start looking at well, how do we slowly look for that, as opposed to just saying what's the best move, and do we see it as a space advantage? Do we see it as trying to open up the bishop, or whatever it may be?
So basically tell you the theme at the end of the lecture then.
Yeah, or yeah. Once we see if we can guess it along the way.
So guess what the theme is. That's interesting. That's a good idea, actually. I like that. All right. Yeah, that's true though. When I tell my students the theme, then everyone's looking like queen sacrifice. All right, everyone's looking for a queen sacrifice. It's gotta be a queen sacrifice. Good idea. That's a good idea. All right.
Although when it comes to middle games, there really isn't one right move, right? Because each move leads to a different plan.
Right. Yeah.
And So you could pretty much guess a whole bunch of moves and they'll all be completely valid.
Yeah, like even though I did tell you it's territorial domination and it's about space, it's still not obvious what the best move is, right? Because there's many different ways you can go about it. Go about gaining space, right? And some are better than others. So, yeah. So, all right. So you want to focus on, you said more minor pieces, right? Right, Art? That's what you said?
Well, I mean, within the context of this,
yeah, middle game play,
positional,
right.
territorial play,
cool.
I think obviously, how to more strongly use those minor pieces. Because it seems as though if you're pushing the knights forward in this play here, you're just getting them kicked back.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, pawns used correctly can be pretty powerful. So cool. All right, awesome. So we'll do that for next week. All right, great talking to you guys. Great seeing you guys. So hope you guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you again next week for
Thank you.
week 13. All right.
There.
Have a great night.
You too.
Thanks, you too.
Bye.